Hello there everybody and welcome back on into my channel for a video where we are going to be talking and also taking a look at something entirely community driven. And by that I mean, well, this is all deriving from the Ninjago community because a lot of Ninjago fans out there, not all, but a lot for sure, have been pretty worried when it comes to Ninjago and its future, specifically as we head more into the year 2024, and heck, maybe even the year 2025, depending on how the story ends up panning out. But it's safe to say that, well, from my perspective, in my very personal opinion here, some Ninjago fans are massively overreacting to something that recently did end up transpiring within the Ninjago community. That, of course, being the all-new Elemental Mechs trailer we got. Now, one aspect of this trailer that has stuck with fans a ton more than practically anything else, believe me when I say that, it's almost like everything else doesn't exist at the moment because everybody is focusing in on this one thing, and that is the fact that Steel has made a comeback of sorts so far. Because while this may be a one-time thing just being used for these particular shorts, it could be something bigger. And that is where the trouble lies for a lot of people. Fans out there, are essentially just very worried at the moment that the writers may, for some reason, end up pulling yet another Crystalized move, where this somewhat foreign element will be being brought by somebody's secret, aka somebody like Razi's master, who is already a secret in terms of their identity. Oh boy, see where this is going? It's very reminiscent of what happened in Crystalized, but of course instead of Steel, it was Vengestone, and instead of some sort of random and mysterious purchaser, it ended up being Harumi. There are a lot of similarities here, and again, I think we can all see how that all ended up. But even if Crystalized ended up being received well, if we were to theoretically get another story just like that, it would still just be way too similar regardless. So ultimately, just because Crystalized ended up being bad in a lot of people's eyes, I wouldn't say that's affecting the community's opinion any more than it would do, really. Maybe it is a little bit to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, even if Crystalized was a 10 out of 10 season, and even if Dragon's Rising was still going to be copying a big element from that season, Ninjago fans would still be quite worried about the actual quality of the writing and the story and the future of the show, because again, we have just had a story like that. Why pull something so similar out of the bag now? But as we move on here, please do call me naive if you so wish, but for once here, I do honestly and legitimately have a lot of faith in the writers. As I have said a ton in recent videos already, everything seems structured very well and properly, to be honest, and I think that everything introduced in Season 1 was put there for a more than definite reason. And also on top of that, I think these new writers have simply come up with an extremely high quality story within Season 1. I would legitimately, as I say here, be so very much surprised and also very disappointed if they were to come out with a sudden, pretty random story that is more or less just a dodgy Crystalized ripoff. It just doesn't seem right to me. I think that Dragon's Rising is just destined for more, like a lot more, and I think that the story is going to reflect that. I don't think they would end up kind of ripping off this story that we have just seen a few years ago at this point in time. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, and also, before we do close off here, it is also worth noting that it would be weird to introduce a plot point that's going to be serving a huge role into the future, and introducing all of that within just a random short series that is, all things considered, not going to be very significant. Like, just saying it how it is, this short series is really not going to affect much at all in terms of Ninjago's future, so that just wouldn't make much sense on its own. I figured I should also throw in this little detail here towards the end, because it's really fitting to what we're talking about today. I wanted to also bring this up as a further counterpoint to all of this worry I've been seeing recently, but overall, if you ask me, there isn't much to worry about. Who knows, maybe I could be wrong on that, maybe I should personally be more worried about the future, but that's just how I see it so far. I do not think that Dragon's Rising is going to end up ripping off the story that we saw play out so similarly in Crystalized. I just don't think that's going to be the case. I think the writers have a much bigger story planned here, and I think it's going to be a lot better than Crystalized. So with all of this being said, that is going to conclude it here. A lot of this does just come down to my own personal thoughts, but hey, it is my channel, so that's what I'm going to share, my own thoughts. With all of this being said though, now that I have again shared my own opinions on this, I encourage all of you guys to go ahead and do the same in the comment section. Please do feel free to drop any of your own thoughts on this down below in the comments. I would love to hear your own thoughts regarding all of this. As always, if you did actually end up enjoying this one here, please do go ahead and leave a like on it, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more, and while you guys are also at it, be sure to consider turning on that notification bell so that you can keep up to date on all things Ninjago here on my channel. And with all of this being said, you guys, I will be sure to see you all very soon for a new video, so see you all soon, and goodbye, everybody.